Well, at first, the first time I read the book, I thought, and I realized that it was a beautiful script. I thought this could be a very good script for a movie. And it touched me very deeply because the story happens in the middle 80s. And I was living in Chile in that time. And I experienced directly the to live in under the dictatorship. And I think people has just begun to forget how it was about. And I even uh, forgot some things like how dangerous it was to be a homosexual or travestite during the dictatorship in Chile. To be an homosexual was banned by law until 1999. So I thought it was very important for the process we were actually living in Chile to make a film about that uh, epoch, because it's the beginning of a movement. It's a sexual liberty movement. So that's why I decided to make the film. Yes. Pedro Lemebel, who's the writer of the story, My Tender Matador in English, he was the first person in Chile to use woven dresses on the streets during the 80s. And that was a seed he planted. And we can see all the changes that are happening right now in Chile, and the laws that are changing were planted or seeded by him like 30 years ago. So I think even though it's a film, a historical film, it's a very actual film, political actual film. Well, mm, there's a little bit of everything. First, I had to clear my head and to realize that one thing is a novel and another completely different thing is a script. So I decided to work freely. In the original novel, there was the presence of a Pinochet dictator with her wife, with his wife, and they were like two old couple chattering all the time about what was happening in Chile, and they looked very even charming. So I decided to take them out because I think if you're going to put a dictator inside a movie, you should show how they were exactly, and they were the most fascist and dangerous people that we ever lived in. So I all that part of the book I threw it away, and I centered myself in the relationship between Alfredo Castro, the travestite, and the guerrilla man. And there's some other small things like in the novel, I added that he doesn't know the sea. He wants to see the sea for the first time. That's not in the novel because I thought it was very poetical. And I introduced also the earthquake that happened in 1985 in Chile, because I think it was a very beautiful metaphor of how was our society in 1986. A city that is on the floor because of the earthquake. I thought it was a beautiful metaphor. So those are the biggest changes I made in the adaptation. Well, for me, the most important part of directing is to have an idea in your mind of what you want to do, and also the work with actors. I work a lot with the actors, and we go on the screen, on the script, many times, and we read it and we talk about it, and I try to find with the actor the real character that lies beneath the words he's saying. I found during the writing of the script and during the rehearsal with Alfredo, that there was like 5 different persons living inside that character. There was this woman that is lonely at her house, listening to old music and knitting, like a Penelope. But there was also this travestite that goes and prostitute herself in a porn cinema. And there was also this woman that has to travestite as a man when he goes out to the streets. Is her loneliness, is her fragility. There's so many people living inside that, and that's what I always try to remember and remind the actor that that was what the film was about, to show many faces of in the same person, many persons living inside that body, and that's how we work usually. I like to say that even though this film happens in 1986, changes haven't been so much as we would have liked to, but it's still a very moving love story. And I think in this moment that we're living, always we have to go inside us and try to see with loving eyes this ugly reality we're living right now. I think the main character, La Loca del Frente, which lives in a very poor way and is very desolated and isolated, has a way to look at the world and to look at the reality with love, and that's very important.